quite have a plan for these guys yet, but I'm hopeful to get started work with them in the next couple of days. Also, these are rose hips for anybody that doesn't know. I just gathered them from a rose bush up the way a bit, and they are so beautiful. I don't think they are perfect for what I'm hoping to use them for, at least playing with the idea of right now. I tried to make a jam with them last year, and well, it was about 10 hours of pulling out the seeds, so I think I might try to change it up a bit this time, but I'm very excited to start work with them. I don't know if you can see that little dot out there, but that's a seal head. Oh, he just went under. That's a fairly decent wishing rock. Alrighty, I'm going to try to film this here. It's the evening. I found my camera microphone works a little bit better outside. And right now there are less neighbors outside. Sorry, I've been rambling without much explanation. My main microphone has died. It didn't quite make it on the trip across the country and ended up corrupting a lot of footage. So for most of this vlog, I may be relying on the internal mic on my camera, which I apologize is not the best, and you can hear a lot of the adjustment when I'm using autofocus, which I do really only when I'm talking to the camera, which makes it not that great. I was supposed to get the new microphone today, but they pushed the order out till either tomorrow or the next day, and as I was thinking I would get it this morning, I have kind of been waiting to film a lot of this part of the vlog, and well, I wanted to get this vlog up to you tomorrow, so I don't think that's happening anymore, but I'll shoot for Monday instead. But anywho, with that long disclaimer out of the way, welcome back to Washington and back to the cabin. It is far darker outside than I think it looks in the camera at the moment. It's getting to be a little bit later in the evening. I have an apple pie in the oven, or an apple crisp, excuse me, in the oven, and I have done pretty much nothing else to get settled in. I've been here for a couple of days already and kind of just brought a lot of my stuff over and immediately started working on other projects that were not the projects I should be working on. So I've made a couple of good recipes and started to put autumny things around the house. Do you see him? Yeah. But I have yet to be unpacked, so yeah, priorities. But it feels good to be back here, and it feels really good right now. It is early October. It's nearly been a year since I first arrived here, and that feels pretty special. Plus, I mean, do you see how beautiful it is here? I mean, it's incredible in the evenings and the mornings. And I've learned that those are my two favorite times of day to film now. I don't particularly love the middle portion of the day where it's just sunlight. I prefer the clouds or the dusk, but I have a lot to do before we really get going here. I've been working on figuring out the logistics of getting some more wood. So far, I have not been able to find anybody who will sell me a cord of wood. I need 2 to get through the winter here, and they don't exist out here this year apparently. So that will be the biggest challenge yet. Hopefully next week I will be able to get that done, and I still have to prepare for any potential flooding that may happen, but I'm more worried about that come November. At least that's when it started to get a little crazy last year. I'll probably get a little bit more prepared early on this year. That's for another time though. Gosh, it looks so beautiful. They're such a beautiful color. I don't even know if the camera can do them justice, but wow. And they smell amazing. Very excited to see how it turns out. I still have a little bit of oil left over, as I thought I would. Well, this is now a salve, so I will probably end up using this in other concoctions later on in this year. Maybe I'll mix it with some of the plantain that I have, but for now, this is what we have, and it is beautiful. And with this goes the last bit of firewood. I've contacted 3 or 4 people now asking if I can purchase wood from them, but I have not heard back. So, and it's Sunday now, so it's a little bit harder to contact people today. But I've never had this much trouble trying to get firewood. I don't know what's going on, but at least it'll be cozy today, and tomorrow I have to go back into the city. I'm finally getting my feeding tube fixed. It has been broken since December, and yeah, so that's exciting. That'll be nice to not have tape on my body and a non-functional tool. So I'm excited about that, and it's warmer in the city. But come Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd like to have this figured out because it's very cold here already, and having a fire is a necessity for getting through the winter here. This is set up really nicely. You know what, we're gonna change our minds here. These need to be crushed before I can make them into what I'm hoping to make, but I was just gonna do it right on the table, and I have since decided that that is a bad idea. So perhaps folded up in this cloth, it will be a little more effective. Well, that did absolutely nothing. I think it may be a bit of a lost cause trying to crush these ones. Perhaps I'll cook them for a bit and have more luck. Alrighty, so I just got word that I am not getting my microphone today. I will be getting it tomorrow. So that's a little bit late for finishing this vlog, so I thought I'm just gonna have to suck it up and finish it without a microphone, and I'm sorry because I know the sound is pretty awful when I don't have that. But next one, I will have it. It will be all good. The focusing sound won't be as big of a deal, and hopefully life will be good. Currently, I am making some rose hip syrup. Originally, I was thinking about making a jelly with them, but this is a much simpler method and something that I think I'll get more use out of. Plus, I've made a lot of jams and jellies this season, and it's time for something a little bit different. But right now, I need them to cook down a bit. They're supposed to cook for 20 minutes anyways, but they're supposed to be crushed beforehand. These ones are a little tougher. They aren't the typical kind of rose hip used in recipes, but they're the one that I have around here. And so I'm just kind of working with what I've got. It's okay, it's adaptable, it's adaptable. So while I wait for this to cook, let's catch up, shall we? I filmed a couple of weeks ahead, so I've been here for a little bit and been on the road. It was a really fun adventure, and it was different. I've never taken the southern route before, or, well, I suppose it wasn't the southern route across America, but we dropped down into Colorado and visited my girlfriend's family for a little bit. And I also got to see Olivia for a second, which was really cool. I've never been to Colorado or any of the states like that before. There was a lot of really red rock, which maybe is not that exciting, but I've never seen red rocks before up in Utah and such on the drive back. It was crazy. And it was really interesting to me how flat the earth was before the mountains in Colorado. It was just so different from what I'm used to, and I got to collect a lot of the plants out there. I don't have them here right now, they're in the apartment, and I plan on grabbing them hopefully next time I'm there, if I remember. But it was really fascinating to be in this place where I was surrounded by all this plant life that I just had no understanding of. Out here I get to meet a lot of new plants, but for the most part I already know a lot of them. It's fairly similar to what I'm used to in Virginia, a little bit less and a little different, but the climate is stable and similar. It's very wet, so a lot of plants are able to grow here, but because of the altitude and the dryness in Colorado, it's all these very hardy plants, and it's just fascinating. I'm really excited to get to know them, or at least try a few things. I got a couple of plants that can be used in teas, and just some other things that'll be nice to burn or just have as bundles. And it was a nice pit stop in the trip. You know, we drove for 2 or 1.5 days pretty hard, and then got a couple day break, and then somehow decided to drive for 17 hours all the way home, or 18 hours once you count the stops and whatnot, in one day, which was kind of crazy, but it was nice to be home. And then I was here, and it feels really nice to be back. Last year when I got here, it was just something so new. I'd never lived this far away from my homeland, and I had to learn a lot. I had to figure out how to navigate this area in particular, and just navigate living completely alone and during such an interesting time in our history. And that kept me really busy, and I had to do a lot of work on myself as a person, and I feel like I've grown a lot since I first got here. But being here again and having the knowledge of how this part of the world works, I know where grocery stores are now, and I know where to get good deals as well, which feels very good. It isn't going to be so time consuming anymore, the outside parts of life, and I'm looking forward to just being able to work and film and share things with you all again and get back to what I love, making these videos. I've been doing a lot of more casual vlogs lately because I haven't had a lot of time to do other things, and so I'm looking forward to getting back into the more cinematic things and experimenting more with film. I already have a few videos planned in my head. Typically I write them by finding songs, and then it's just, oh, I know what I could do with this. So I'm waiting for things to align there. Gotta have the right weather and such. You know, as we've noted before, even though this is not ideal for forever, it is the perfect scare me place, and so I'm going to make the best of it while I can. So lots to look forward to. Plus next week hopefully I'll have wood. All I can talk about in this video is getting a microphone and getting a delivery of wood. Oh boy, exciting times, exciting times. You know what? Life is mundane sometimes, and there are still very beautiful moments to withhold in those times. So look for the simple things. Just needs a little bit longer. Alrighty, that's done. It's perfect and beautiful, and I'm looking forward to experimenting a little bit more with it. And that's done. It's evening now. The fire has decided to smoke up the house. We got some pretty good big gusts of wind, and the flue here doesn't draw so well, so it just kind of poured into the kitchen here. So that's been enjoyable. It's very, very smoky here. Oh, and right on cue, Hazel has started chewing on a bone. Sounds about right. I wanted to have a little bit more of an exciting time in the first vlog here, but you know, life changes, other circumstances happen, and sometimes life is just mundane, and that's okay. I'm all here for a calm week after the whirlwind of traveling that I've had, so it'll be nice to just kind of get this out to you, a nice little relaxed time, and hopefully next week will be different. I think it will. It'll be the year anniversary of moving out here, so that's something to celebrate. But first I need to get things set up here, like getting the flood barriers up. I want to put a table in that window over there, and I need to bring my desk over, so busy days, exciting days, and adventures, and all in all though, I'm just excited and grateful to be back here.